Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you doing today? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to class.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right, my people. If you were not in the last class, hope you have watched the replay and you are ready for today. Nice. Okay, so we are going to start in a bit, right? Let's just give the latecomers 2 minutes, 2 minutes to join, and we are going to get started. Okay, how are we doing today? Hope our day has been good. Hope we made a lot of money today. Hope everything is going well.
Good evening, sir.
Yay, Titilayo. How are you doing? Okay.
I'm fine. Good evening.
All right. So we're going to get started now, and I really hope those people that are not here would come online immediately, because what we're going to be doing today is very, very important. So I've decided that this class, we're going to start from the hardest part of it to the simplest part of it, right? So the part of this social media marketing that I feel like they might be the most challenging part, and once you understand them and you're able to do them effectively, then the other things we're going to be talking about is just a matter of implementation, right? So we're going to start from there, then we just take it till we get to the easiest part of it, right? So and I also discovered that most people, when they just join the course, they are excited and they really want to jump on it and they really want to get, as we go on and on and on and on. Some people, many things come around the way, life happens, right? And they probably lose focus and all that. So if you are able to jump the stumbling block of the hardest part of it, right, you would understand that, okay, you just need to, so it makes the whole process easier. If you agree with me that we should start like this, let me hear you say, let's go. Go to the comment section and say, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I'm just gonna get started now. Okay, my people. Ah, okay. Only Deborah. It's like so many people here are new. They don't understand how we do it. All right. All right. All right. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. All right. So one of the most important parts of, okay, so just like I told you in the webinar, right? There are different parts to social media management. We have the market research, where we need to understand how to do the market research in a detailed way. We have the branding aspect, where we need to understand how to work on the brand, right? How to position the brand, especially if it's a brand that we are creating. But most times you come to meet the brand, right? The companies have already designed the brand and what they are trying to do. They have already designed their targeted customer, their avatar, and all these other things, right? They have already designed these things. So that's another part of it, right? So we have other parts to it, like the running of ads, right? Understanding how to use the social media platforms to run ads, especially Facebook and Instagram, right? Then we have another part of it, which is content creation, creating the content, right? What are the things you're going to do towards creating the content and everything about it? So we are going to be starting today from content creation. So content creation is like really one of the most challenging parts of social media marketing, because most times it's like impromptu to most social media managers, because most times they come as people that come to manage the platform, not people that come to create the content. So when they are saddled with that responsibility of creating content, it really becomes a problem. And a big part of the problem is, how do they get what to create, and what are the tools, right? They are going to use to create these things that they want to do, right? So we're going to be looking at that now and how we can go about it. How to go about this whole content creation of a thing. So if you are ready, say let's go, let's go, let's go. I think I've waited enough for this list comma. So all right. So let's go, let's go, let's go. So in this content creation, first of all, I'm going to be, first of all, talking about some of the important things when it comes to content creation, right? The very, very important things. Then we're going to do some practicals where I am going to be teaching you how to use some tools, some content creation tools, right? Where I'm going to be showing you how to use some content creation tools. So this part now is where I explain to you about content creation and everything. So if you have a pen, a paper, or you want to, so the recorded version of this class is also going to be available, but if you have your writing material, you can also write. So I'm going to be talking about all the important things you need to understand when it comes to content marketing. All right, so let's go. So in today's digital landscape, content creation has become an indispensable skill. Whether you are a marketer, you're a journalist, you're a blogger, or you're simply someone who wants to share your ideas to the world, knowing how to craft compelling content is essential. And here are some, so we're going to be talking about some of the things you need to consider when you are diving into the whole world of content creation, right? So that's one important thing we need to consider. All right, so let's go. The first thing you need to understand when it comes to content creation is to know your audience. Know your audience. Right? Somebody is saying I should share my screen. Yes, I'm going to share my screen when we start the practical. Right? I'm going to share my screen when we start the practical. This part, you just need to write. You get it? Right? You just need to write and listen to what I'm saying and follow me. Right? So let's go. It's not like I'm not reading from a slide. So okay, let's go. Number one, know your audience. Know your audience. So before you start creating content, it is very, very crucial that you understand the preference and the interest of the people, right? You need to understand what you can create that is tailor-made for these people. So knowing your audience is one key part. The people you are creating. So it all starts from the part of looking at it that is the person on the other side going to love what I'm doing? And how do you one of the ways you can know your audience very, very well is to directly interact with your audience. So where can you interact with your audience? Where can you interact with your audience? We're going to come to that, right? Where can you can interact with your audience across different platforms where they are hanging out. Number one, you can see what your audience are asking or are looking for in the comment section of your competitors. In the comment, so there are some people that in the niche you are trying to go into, or a niche close to that niche, there are people that are already successful and they're already doing well. Now, inside of the comment section, when you study those comment sections, you get to understand what this audience are actually yearning for. Another thing you get to understand from the successful platforms, you get to understand what kind of content this audience really like to consume. Right? You get to understand what kind of content this audience really like to consume, right? So knowing your audience goes a long way, a whole long way, right? Understanding every single thing that's their preference and their interest, right? We're going to be talking more about target market research, which is practical part of knowing more of your audience and doing a detailed research on what you want to give out to your audience. So number two is to tell a story, to tell stories. The truth is that the way humans are wired to respond to story. Now, don't get me wrong. When you say, I sell cars, how can I tell story? There is a simple way that you can tell a story about anything, right? You can tell a story about anything. So all you just have to do is, and the story does not have to be lies. When we say tell a story, we're not saying you should lie, right? It just has to be, you're looking at the end goal of what these people want to achieve, the possible problems that they'll come across, right? And all this is captured in a simple story. The best place to start from is the challenges you have faced in that part. Take, for example, now, if I'm talking about social media management now, I can tell you my story of all the things I faced that made me say I have to go all in and learn social media management and become good at it, right? So by the time I have that communication with you, right, making you understand that in 2020, right, it was a do or die affair, and I had to learn the skill, showing you the phases that I went through and all that. So that's a story. People love to hear stories. How did your brand come about? Many of you here have heard the story of Bill Gates. You have heard the story of KFC. You have heard the story of you have heard the story of Pepsi. You have heard the story. So you have heard the story of Lamborghini. You have heard the story of Ford. It is intentional why they released those stories, right? Why they released those stories, and it is in the attempt to connect with the people that they are trying to reach out to, right? Is in the attempt to connect with the people they are trying to reach out to, right? The next one is provide value. Provide value. When it comes to this provision of value, I like to call it the 3 E's of social media marketing. The 3 E's. I like to introduce something called the 3 E's of social media management. 3 E's, right? So what are these 3 E's? What are these 3 E's? Number 1 is to entertain. 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 Number 2 is to educate. Educate. And number 3 is to execute. Entertain, educate, execute. Entertain, educate, execute. You see, in today's information-saturated world, there's information everywhere. It is not enough to simply create content for the sake of creating content. Your content needs to provide valuable value to your audience. It needs to provide good value to your audience. It must be able to solve their problems. It should be able to educate them. It should be able to entertain them and inspire them, right? And you need to make sure that your content offers something meaningful to the people consuming it. Something very, very meaningful to the people consuming it, right? That's one key part. One key part, right? Now, you see, there is, when we say educate, we're talking about, when we say entertain, you see, you need to find ways to keep people's attention. And one of the ways you can do that is by entertainment, right? Excitement. And you need to educating them. Your content should not just be fun every time, right? You can also put in things that make them like, oh. So your goal is, how do I educate these people? How do I entertain them? Then execution is your call to action, right? You are not just there on social media to educate and entertain them. At the end of it, you need to also have a structured way to monetize, to execute, to put in call to actions, right? Let's go. As we roll, you guys will get to understand most of all these things I'm saying. Then another thing is authenticity, right? Be authentic. This is a very, very important key. And I'm going to explain this a lot, right? You see, authenticity is a very, very important key in building trust and credibility, right? To be genuine. There are so many people on social media that they have come to limelight just by being authentic and unique in what they are doing. I just can't mention so look at all the skit makers that you know, right? Many of them, the only reason why they are so successful is one of the major reasons is they are just authentic. They're just on their own lane. How many of us know this guy that used to say, what's this guy's name now? I'm trying to look. This guy that recently trended, that was doing this skit that used to say, "I greet you, bros. I greet you, bros. Let me greet the other guy for the other side." How many of us have seen that comedian? I think it's Wisdom 24/7, something like that. Now, do you know that how saturated this skit making thing is already is? But because this guy is unique and just came out with his own style, he trended ASAP. What he was doing, right, was not something that every other Tom, Dick, and Harry was already doing, right? And it's just go to social media and look out for the content creators that are just authentic on their own lane, doing their own thing, right? You get to see how amazing what they are doing is. All right, if you are still here and you are writing, let's say let's go. Let me know that I am still heard and we are still live. Okay. All right, amazing. So the next one is optimize for different platforms. Optimize for different platforms. You see, every platform is different, and you need to create your content having the platform in mind. So whether you are creating content for a blog, you are creating for YouTube, you are creating for TikTok, you are creating for Instagram, one big thing you need to understand at the back of your mind is that this content, you are optimizing it based on how the platform works. Are you getting me now? Based on how the platform works. All right. The next one is to stay consistent. Stay consistent. Consistency is key when building an audience and maintaining an audience on social media. Consistency is key. Now, if you say you're going to be posting weekly, you have to stick to it. If you say you're going to be posting daily, you have to stick to it. So if you are posting monthly, you have to stick to it. Being able to establish that consistency has a reward, a direct reward from the algorithm, right? Consistency on its own has a direct reward from the algorithm. Now, talk more of other amazing things that you can get just by being consistent, right? So now, all these things we have just listed are the important things you need to have at the back of your mind when you are trying to create content, right? When you're trying to create content, it is really, really important that you understand these things. So, and it is just the first step. It's not just about jumping on a software and start creating and start using all these things. It's really, really understanding, number one, to know your audience, number two, to tell your story, so number three, to provide value, right? Very, very important, using the 3 E's, which is entertain, educate, and execute. Then to be authentic, to optimize for different platforms, to stay consistent, and to always embrace feedbacks. That's the last one. You see, you need to pay attention to what people are saying and the feedbacks you are getting, right? When you roll out content, the comments, what people are saying in your comments, what people are asking for, what people are requesting for, right? All these are part of the work in progress. Okay, so with that being said, let us go into different aspects of what we can do with content creation, right? Now, it is really, really easier for most of us because there are so many tools that can help us do a whole lot, right? So let us start from looking at the different tools and softwares that can help us in our content creation journey and how we can take advantage of these tools. Now, on the content creation journey, I want to first of all categorize the content that we have. I want to categorize the contents that we have that exist. Okay, how many of us are still here? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the kind of contents that we have. Now for social media, now mind you, there are different platforms and different things, right? But for social media, the kind of contents that we really need, number one, is photos and pictures. Photos and pictures. That's number one type of content that we have. Photos and pictures generally. Number two is designs. There's a difference between pictures and designs. Pictures are the ones you snap. Designs are the one you design with a software. So the design can have a picture inside of it with text and other things, also communicating and information, right? So the second one is designs. The next one is videos, and which is the very, very, very important one, videos. A lot of things are happening around video creation and a whole lot of stuff. Now, under these videos, we have different types of videos. So we have videos that were shot by the content creator or the video creator. We have those kind of videos. We have behind the scene videos. We have AI generated videos. We have AI generated videos, right? We have AI generated videos. So we're going to be looking at how to create all these type of things right now, right? So let us start from, I want to share my screen. So let us start from, I'm coming. Okay, let me share the entire screen. All right. Okay. Let me look for. So now, when you are just getting started in all these things, there is a whole lot to what you can do when it comes to social media management. Now, one of the best places to start is for you to even have an idea of what you want to create. Now, after doing your brainstorming and everything, one of the things that can help you is to use the social media, the AI tools to help you with the whole journey of coming up, putting the ideas together, right? Now, putting the ideas together, you can use this AI tool called ChatGPT, and you can also use this one called Gemini from Google, right? This used to formerly known as Bard, formerly known as Bard, but they changed the name to Gemini, right? You can use this to do a whole lot of things. Now, let's say I just got a job as a social media manager in a company that sells cars, right? I'm just going to prompt this AI. Now, first of all, I can prompt the AI based on the kind of content I want to create. Now, let's start from designs. Everyone here should know how to take pictures, right? This course is not going to cover that. Right? So let's start from designs. Now, let's say I just got a job with a company that sells cars. I'm just going to come here and say, I'm just going to prompt this AI to help me on that journey of creating designs for a company that sells cars. So I'm just going to put a prompt like this. Very detailed prompt. Or I can say something like create 50 social media. Now, be precise on the social media platform. Let's not just use social media. 50 Instagram. Posts for a car so create 50 Instagram posts for a car dealership. Also make it specify that you're going to be designing it. So now I'm just going to put it, and now most times what you can do is when you prompt it like this, you can also put this same prompt in the other AI so that you can compare the results, right? And you can always change your prompt. This is just the only thing this prompt is not even good enough. The only thing I want to say is that your prompt, or you have to put as much details as possible, right, inside of your prompt. Now this one has brought up different posts, right? So let's start from there and see the post that we have. So it has new arrival, future spotlight. So it's explaining everything I should do, right? Showcase a photo. So it explains its own and all that and all that and all that. So I have 50 ideas. Now, all these 50 might not even be cool. I like going for big numbers so that I can filter down what is relevant. So that I can filter down what is relevant and I can just throw away the rest. So you take your time and read this. Now, if I was actually doing this for a project, I can spend up to 30 minutes, 40 minutes working on this AI, prompting it with different prompts just to be able to get something reasonable that I'm going to use, right? So the same thing, and I take my time to analyze and go through this other one and check the reasonable stuff I'm going to use. Now, let's say I now have my text that I want to use for my design. I already have my idea of what I want to put out for my design, right? And it's a design I want to do. There are so many design tools. Some of you here are graphic designers. Congratulations, right? If you know how to design graphics with any tool, right? And you know how to optimize this graphics tool, that's cool. But then if you don't know, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to just quickly introduce you to one graphic design tool that you can use, which is Canva. Very, very easy to use. Very, very, very easy to use, right? So if you just come to Canva, so I just want to indulge those of you that already know. Please allow us to teach those that don't know, right? Let's just show them, right? Most people should know how to use Canva, but then I still want to believe that there are people here that probably don't know. In fact, let me even ask, if you know how to use Canva very well, say I know. If you don't know, say I don't know. Don't be shy. I want everybody to answer. Let me see the percentage of people and let me know how deep I'm going. You see, the first person knows. You guys should comment now. We are together. Okay. Nice. 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 Okay. All right. So now this tool is an amazing tool and you can use it to design. Now, mind you, there are so many other tools when it comes to creating content. Now, it's probably not going to be your main job, but then if you can use just this tool, you are already on your way to doing a whole lot of things and being less dependent on other people like the graphics designers. Now, there are so many other tools. There's CorelDRAW, there's Photoshop, there's so many InDesign, Illustrator, Lightroom. When it comes to design, there is endless tools that you can use, but one of the most simplest to use is what I'm showing you now, which is Canva. Now, when you want to design on Canva, all you just have to do is to come here and say create a design, then choose the size. Now you need to choose the size based on what you want to design. If what you are creating is for TikTok, you are going to go with this frame. If what you are creating is for Instagram post, you're going to go with this frame, right? The Instagram frame is 1080 by 1080, right? So let's use that for our example. So once we click on the frame, it opens up and we have a blank sheet on our timeline here where we can now create our designs. Now, the amazing thing about Canva is that you already have a lot of templates. Now, if you just come here, you see templates. If you scroll down, there is a lot of templates and there's a whole lot of things you can do around the templates that you have. Now, to make it very, very easy for you, it is better you type and search keywords related to what you want to do so that you can get templates that are close to it. So let's say I want to design for cars. I would rather type in this my template and say car design or something around cars, right? So that I can get something close to what, so that my templates are a bit close home. So once I do that, my templates will just change and I start seeing results close to what I want to do. Right? I start seeing design close to what I want to do. So let's say what I want to do is something like this, right? And I can just scroll down and look for something that is close. So let's say I want to go for, look at this one, new arrival. Let me just go for this one, right? So this is the templates that is there. Now I can change everything on this template and make it become my own design. So let's say, for example, I have already taken a picture of a car that I have. I can remove this picture of this car. This is not the car that we have in our own dealership, right? You can remove it if you want to. If you want to remove it, just click on the delete sign, it goes. But I don't want to remove it, so let me just Ctrl+Z so that it comes back, right? So you can edit any text, any existing text that you have, right? The same thing here. You can edit this text, you can edit this text. If you come here, you can edit. If you come here, you can edit. If you come here, you can edit. That's amazing. But then you can also add other things that you would like to see inside your design. So let's say, for example, I wanted to add more text or I wanted to move. Okay, let's start from there. You can move some things, right? I can move this one. Now, notice something. Notice something. If I try to move this one, it moves alone. It means that this was a box and this text was just placed on the box. So let's say I wanted to move everything together. All I'm just going to do is to drag my mouse down on top of the body of my design and drag down, like draw like a box. And make sure that the box only carries the things I want to drag together. Then I drag. Everything is going to go and move together, right? Once I box them together, I can move them together, right? But if I didn't box them, I will be moving singular elements on their own. But once I box them together, I can move them together, right, to where I want them to be. So let's say I want this to be here, and I want this to be like this, right? I can say maybe I want to add something else here. Or let's say I wanted to add a circle and put a picture inside that circle, right? Or put a logo or something. I can do that. So let's say I'm just going to come to this other part, come to elements. So elements is where you find everything you are looking for inside of the Canva design. So anything you are looking for, like logos, like you get to see anything, shapes, anything you are looking for, lines, you get to see them inside the element area. Now, let's say I'm looking for like a frame or something. I'm just going to come here and type in, I can type in frame. So you see, I have these frames here, right? I can just choose this one. Let's say I want to use this one, and I can drop like this. So if I put this frame here like this, I can put in a picture inside this frame if I like, right? So let me go and look for a picture. So to get a picture, I'm going to go to upload. So if I click on upload, it's going to upload all the pictures I have there, right? Or I can just upload from my computer directly, right? So I can just upload from my computer directly. So if I scroll now on this, I get to see different pictures I have here, right, that I can use. So let's say, take for example, I just want to look for any random picture that I can use, right? I'm coming. I'm not getting any picture. So let me just pick anything that I can just put in. Okay. So let me just pick this and use it. So now I can drag. So once I click on I click on upload, it's going to upload that particular picture here. Now, if I click on it, I can put in this picture inside where I want it to be. Right? You see the picture now, and I can also work on the movement of it, right? And do a whole lot from this point, right? So that's how it looks like. You can increase and reduce as you like. Now so understanding how to use the element alone, right? There's a whole lot to understand in the elements area. Let me remove this back. So I can delete, you can either delete the frame or delete everything in the image. Let me just delete I can delete only the image, right? Or I can just, now there's a whole lot. Now, if you see this background, that you can even work on this background itself, the whole background itself. So this background is a picture, the place, right? If I want to do it, I can edit the photo, or I can even delete the picture they placed on the background, right? I can adjust the crop from here. So I can adjust the crop or adjust it this way. So if I adjust it this way, this is what it looks like, right? So let me adjust it this way and leave it and say done, right? So you see that the background, where the background is, kind of changes. Now let's even say that I'm doing this design and you can add another page, right? So let's say you want to do multiple designs, you want to work on multiple designs alongside each other. You can add another page here and start afresh with that page. Now, on a blank page, you can do a whole lot of things. You can change the color if you like, right? You can add text, So if you want to add text, click on add text. So if you want the text to be big, like an headline, you can drag this there. If you want just normal text, you can bring this there. So let's say I wanted normal text. I'm just going to tap on this. It's going to appear here. Then I'm going to write the text. Right? I'm going to write the text. I'm going to write the text. I'm in a class. I'm going to write the text that I want to use there. Right? So whatever you want to use, you put it there. Right? So you can move the position of your text. You can move the position of your text as you like. So let's say I put the position of my text here. Now let's say I don't like the font. You can work on the font of your text here. You can work on the font. Right? You can work on the font of your text. Somebody's saying it just joined. We should restate the topic. So we are talking about content creation, right? And right now, I'm just showing you some tools that can help you in your journey of content creating. Tools that can help you with designs, tools that can help you with video editing, tools that can help you with content ideas, tools that can help you with a whole lot of things. That's what we're talking about. Okay. All right. So let's go. Watch the replay if you are just joining. Make sure you watch the replay and stay to the end. All right. So as I was saying, you get to see, so this is text, right? So you can manipulate the text the way you want it. You can increase, yeah, or you can reduce. Now you can add effects, different types of effects to your text. If you come here, you can see that there are different types of effects already designed that you can add. So let's say I wanted to put an effect like this. Look at it, you see what it looks like, right? So you see that's an effect. If I leave it back to none, that's how it's gonna be, right? I can put in like a glitch, right? This is what the text is gonna look like, right? So you can do that. So there's a lot of things you can do with your text. Now that's text. The next one is draw. So under draw, let's say you are somebody that knows how to draw, right? You can actually create your own custom shapes. Now, any shape you are looking for is here under element. And anything you want to do, you can find it under element. But then, let's say you want to do something freehand, right? That is not anything you can find under element. Then you can use this draw tool, right? You can use the draw tool and you look for the different dimensions that you have there. You can change the color of your marker there, and then you can have your space to draw what you want to draw, right? What am I drawing now? So you can have your marker to draw what you want to draw. So you can have your marker to draw whatever you want to draw. So most times when you might need to draw something is maybe you want to do like a signature, or you want to do like a you want to do something like a, what's it called now? You want to do different types of stuff, right? You can use this tool, right? Now that's for that tool. Now there are other things. Now, most of the things you actually need, you would get under this element side, right? You'll get under this element side. You just need to look for them and bring them in. So let's say I'm looking for logos, right? I can say Facebook logo, for example. Now, if I just come here and say Facebook logo, right? If I click on it, it's going to pop out different types of Facebook logos that I can get, right, under the elements. So if I click on this now, I can have the logo I want, right? So anything you are looking for, you can easily get under. Now, when you are just starting, I really strongly want to advise you, never ever to create your own design freehand. Use templates. When you are just starting, don't try to be smart and say, let me create my own custom design, right? Use template, follow the pattern of the template, and just change the text and the pictures. Simple. Don't try to be smart and say you want. Now, you might do that on the long run, but so that your designs don't look whack, the easiest way out is to use templates. You are not an expert graphics designer, right? Use the template, follow the template. If possible, don't change too many things, right? Change only the text and the pictures you want to add. So always use templates. Very, very, very important. So look at this template now. Very nice template, right? Everything looks cool. And it has showed me different things. Now it's showing me that I can put my logo here, right? I'm just going to delete this place. That thing that I say I can put my logo. I'm just going to delete that place. And I'll put my logo at that same spot, right? So if I go to upload and I look for the logo I want to put in, let's say this is the logo I want to use, right? I'm just going to drag the logo, make it very small, and move it to that point where it wants to be. Now, it does not look nice because the logo is, what's it called now? It's a square logo covering the designs and all that. So what I can do is I can delete it, go back to elements, and look for that frame, that circle frame, right? That would make the job clean. So I can just go back and search for frame, right? Because I'm not seeing that one I want. I can just search for frame, click on it. Now this is a circle frame. I can reduce it the way I want it to be, move it to where I want it to be, right? Then go to uploads and get my logo and put it inside that point, right? And I have that. And I can move them together like this, all right? The way I want them to be. So it's going to be here. I'm just going to rewrite this the way I want it to be. Rewrite this, change this picture if I like. So let me change this picture. So let's say I don't want this picture. I'm just going to tap on it, click on delete, and I will delete image. You see that this is also a frame. So I'm going to look for the image that I would like to insert there. So I go to my uploads and look for the image I want to insert there. So let me say I want to insert this image, for example. So I can rotate the image. This didn't come in that form. I can rotate the image, drag the image and drop it there, right? I can also move the image the way I want it to be, right? If I wanted it to be like this, or I wanted it to be like this, right? I can move the image and put it the way I want it to be. Make it smaller or make it bigger, make it smaller or make it bigger, right? And I can edit a whole lot, change whatever I want to change, remove whatever I want to remove. Are we good? Are we good? If we're good, say let's go, let's go. All right, my people. All right. So somebody's asking, please, what's the name of the software? This Canva. This Canva. Right. Okay. So this is just one part of what you can do with Canva. Now, did you know that you can also use Canva for videos, right? You can also use Canva for videos. You can use Canva for videos too. That's one part that many people don't really use it for. So it's also possible to use it for videos. So somebody's asking me, is Canva for PC only? No. Canva, there's Canva for PC, there's Canva for phones, right? There's Canva for PC, there's Canva for phones. You can use any of the two, right? But then me, I understand. I'm very used to using it on PC more, but I've seen other people use it on phones and they have created amazing designs too, right? So if you come here, you click on videos. Now, if you there is a lot you can do under the videos aspect, right? Especially if you want to do these AI generated videos, right? So we're going to talk more about that in the video part. But before we even come to this part, talking about videos, let me this Canva now, I want to encourage you to go ahead and do more research and try it out. Now, many of these tools, when you are trying it out, you will discover a whole lot. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. Understand how to use elements, understand how to use text, know how to upload, know how to draw if necessary, which I don't think it is for you, right? Know how to look for templates and know how to edit that template to what you want. And you're already on your way to creating amazing designs, right? Just know how to manipulate the templates, and that's all you need, right? Now, moving on. Now, Canva has the pro version and all that. If you can afford it, go ahead and use it. But then, even with the free version, you can do a whole lot of things. Everything you have seen me done now are all from the free version, right? Which, when you are done with your design, let me click on this. So when you are done with your design, all you just have to do is to come here, right, and scroll down and click on download. Once you click on download, you download it. The design is going to download to your computer. Right now, there are different forms of download. Right? Once you click on this download like this, they are different. It suggests different qualities. And depending on what you want to do with your design, if you want to post it on social media, this PNG is the best, right? JPEG is also good, especially if you are sending it to somebody, right? But if you want to print it, PDF is what you're going to use, right? If you want to print the design. Yes, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. What's the name of this person? The iPhone, the guy using iPhone. Always edit this thing to your name now. Let me know who is talking, right? All right, so you see, it is easy to use and you can see what she's saying, he or she's saying, right? It's very, very easy to use. So let's move to the next one, which is the next thing I want to say, right? Let's move to the next one, which is the next thing I want to talk about. So the next one is CapCut, right? I'm going to be talking about CapCut now. Somebody's writing on my screen. I'm coming. All right. So CapCut is a video editing software and is one of the best in recent times that you can use it to do a whole lot of stuff. Somebody's asking me, does it mean that JPEG and PNG are the same? JPEG and PNG are not the same, right? They are not the same. But both you can get your this thing in both frames, right? So CapCut is the next one we want to talk about. So you can edit videos with CapCut, which is an amazing software to do a whole lot of things. Now, once you install the software, I don't need to take you through the installation. It's very easy. Just go online and download CapCut, right? Somebody is saying, I suggest you don't download. You don't download us too much, else practicing will be difficult. Okay. So we have a lot to cover actually in the course. And what I just showed you on what's it called, on Canva, is something very, very simple, right? In fact, let me give you an assignment. Create a design. Okay, somebody's saying that I have a problem with Canva. The design looks blurry when I have them when I download my designs. Now, the reason why it looks blurry, it is the version that you download. Download PNG, download the PNG version. Don't download JPEG, download the PNG version, right? And do not share it directly with WhatsApp. Don't send it from one device to another with WhatsApp, right? Canvas designs are cool, right? They're very, very cool. All right, so let's go. So as I was saying, assignments. Create a design for Digital World's Tech Academy social media management webinar, right? Create a design. Somebody should write this for me, please, so that other people can see. Using Canva. Some of you here are pro. I can see people like Mr. Kenneth here. You are pro in other software. Using Canva. Create a design. Create a design for Digital World Tech Academy social media management webinar using Canva, right? So it's the write-up you will use for your design is the same write-up on the on our DP on our WhatsApp group. The DP on the WhatsApp group for this class. Maybe I will send it again to the group. I'll send the design again to the group. So that's the write-up, but you are not using the same design, you're not using the same texture, but the only thing that is the same is the write-up, right? So use Canva to create your own different design, right? That is an assignment. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So create that design and create the design and drop. So let's go. So that's our assignment. So now moving on to the next. Let me quickly introduce CapCut. We're going to continue with CapCut on Thursday, right? Then when we're done with CapCut, we'll move to the next thing. So let me quickly introduce CapCut. So now, let me quickly show you how you can get the software. Now, if you come to, if you just go online and just type CapCut. right? And you click on enter, you're just going to see CapCut. This is CapCut, right? It's, you see, all in one video editor, and it's an amazing tool. If you click on it like this, you're going to see where you can just download it. Now, you can use it on mobile, you can use it on Android, iOS, and you also have the PC version, right? All of them are very similar to the usage, right? So downloading CapCut is very, very, very easy. So you can even edit with CapCut online, right? You can edit with it online. You can edit with it online. That's, so you see, you have all these things here. So if I see, if I just come here and click on download, I'll be able to download CapCut for free, right? I'll be able to download CapCut for free. Now that when you download the software, you're just going to come to it and click on new project. It's going to open up. When it opens up, the interface looks like this. For those of you that have learned how to do video editing before, you might understand one or two things, especially those of you that have used Premiere Pro or Filmora before, you might understand one or two things about this interface. So let me quickly explain what this interface is. This interface is how you get to edit your videos. Now, this interface is how you get to edit your videos. This part here you see, right, is the timeline where you get your work done, right? This is where you get your work done. So some people call it the material area or the editing dashboard, whatever you want to call it. This is where the work is done when you are editing. So whatever, okay, somebody saying that I should make my screen bigger. Okay, let me increase my screen a bit. I think this is the biggest it can be. Okay. Guys, can you see my screen? If you can still see. So what you need to do is to import the media, the video you want to edit that you have shot already. So you start by importing it, right? You start by importing the screen, right? You start by importing. So if you come to this part here, you click on import, right? If you come here, you're just going to click on import. Now, once you click on import, you scroll down, you can look for the video, the very video you want to edit. So let's say, for example, this is the video I want to edit. If I click on open, it's going to bring the video into my timeline. Now, once I bring the video, it's going to bring the video into CapCut. Now, I will drag the video down here where I can start editing the video. Now, there are some basic things you need to understand about video editing. One of the basic things you need to understand is the sound. The sound is very, very important. There is no good video without good sound. So one of the first things you need to work on is the sound of the video. And how do you work on the sound? Now, it's very easy in CapCut because just up here, you're going to see video, audio, speed, animation, adjustment. Under audio is where you get to do all the work about your sound. Now, there's a lot you can do on your sound, right? You can increase volume, reduce volume. Look at the video. So you can increase volume, reduce volume, do a whole lot of things. Now you can fade in. If I fade in, it means that the video is going to sound low at the point of start, but as it goes, I'm super excited to be here with you.
Show you
I'm coming.
how you can turn your earnings into profits.
Now, right? How many of us are still here? If you are still here, say let's go, let's go, let's go. So people are sleeping already. All right. So let me just quickly continue the introduction to CapCut. Now, the sound, right? So there's a lot you can do around the sound. Now, you can do a lot around the sound. You have the volume, you have the fade in, you have the fade out. See, there's something we call, look at it, loudness normalize, right? If it's too loud, there are unnecessary places that are loud. If you tick here, it will normalize the loudness. Now, you can enhance the voice. You can enhance the voice, right? You can enhance the voice. If you click on this one, it's going to enhance the voice, right? Let's click on it.
Yes, you heard me right. Yes, yes, you.
Now, you can enhance the voice. Now, if you come to this part, you can reduce the noise. Now, maybe when you were shooting the video, there was background noise. Your neighbor's generator was making noise. The frog around your area was, right? Just by clicking on this button, it will reduce or it will eliminate background noise, right? It will eliminate background noise. Now, I do not advise you to use this vocal isolation, right? But then if necessary, you can test it first. Test it, hear how the video sounds. Then if you think it's necessary for you to use it, you can go ahead, right? So that's the first part, the sound. The sound. So so if you are able to work on the sound, it makes it a whole lot better, right? Being able to do a whole lot of things with the sound. Now, the next part, we have a lot of work to do after we understand the sound. You see, when you tamper too much with the sound, it can sound something entirely different, right? So you just want to be able to test each thing and know which one is necessary, right, by using it. So now, the next thing you need to know how to do is to cut videos. Cut. Now, cutting and joining videos is important because there are always unnecessary parts in when you are editing, right? There are unnecessary parts when you're editing, and you want to be able to know how to cut those unnecessary parts and join the necessary parts when necessary. So how do we get to do this? Now, we're just going to come here. This is the video. If we click on play, let's play, right? So let's say this part where I said, yes, guys, is where I wanted to cut, right? Now, it is the videos is how do I call it now? Is modeled up. So how do I get to get enough space to be able to cut where I want to cut? You're going to come here, right? If you come to this point now, you can increase the size of the video here on this timeline, right? If you come here now, you just come here and you increase it like this. Okay, you increase it the way you want. Now, then I scrolled back to the beginning. So I want to remove yes, guys, and I want it to start from Lex Olowo here, right? So how am I going to do that? If I just click on this, so you see, I got it at Lex Olowo here again. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back a bit. Yes, guys. So let's say I want it to be just yes, guys. Okay. You see, yeah, I got it. Yes, guys. So that's where it stops. Now that's very point that it stops, which is here. I'm going to go here and click on split. Split, right? I'm going to click on split. So once I click on split, it's going to cut it into two. Now this part I've splitted, I can tap on it, then left click, sorry, right click. I can right click and delete it. Now, my video will start from Lex Oloye again. Right? So that's one very important part. Cutting unnecessary parts. Now, inside of the video, there are parts where maybe you made mistake, maybe you did that. You can always cut those parts, right? Or maybe you don't want. That's another important thing to understand in your. So we've talked about sound, we've talked about cutting. Now you can cut from front, you can cut from back, you can cut from anywhere. Now let's say I want to cut something in the middle. In the middle, what I would do is
Excited to use.
so this, if this is what I want to cut, let's say what I said is around here that I want to cut, right? What I would do is I will split once, then allow it to play.
I'm going to show you how.
To the next point where I want to do, then I'll split again at that point. Now, once I split again at that point, let me reduce it so that you see what I'm doing, right? Once I split, so I've been able to split this point out. I splitted the front, I splitted the back. So I can just click on this one. So once I click on that one, I can click on delete. Yeah. That part goes out from the middle, right? And you have removed. Somebody saying I should please come again. All right, you watch the replay. But then what I said is in CapCut, there are some basic things you need to know how to do. Number one is your audio. Number two is to cut, which is what I'm showing you now, right? To cut. So, and for you to cut, all you just have to do is to play the video, listen to where you want to cut it from, then split at that point. Pause it, then split at that point. You pause, then you split it at that point, right? You pause it, then you split it at that point. Now, so the other things you need to understand, aside the audio, there's so many things about this software, so many. We're just going to take it step by step, right? One after the other. Okay, so for those of you that attended class today, I would be answering questions before we go ahead, right? So we're going to continue from this point next week, Thursday, where we'll just continue with the CapCut training. I'm going to show you everything step by step, right? So if you have any questions, raise your hand. Let me answer your questions. If you have any questions, anything about what we have done today, just raise your hands in the comment, in the participant area. Let me answer your questions. Raise your hand. I will allow you on mute and you can ask your question. Any questions from anyone? Any questions, any questions, any questions? Okay. Wow. Mr. Razak, you can go first.
Good evening, Mr. Lex Olowo.
Good evening.
Thanks for being there for us. And good evening, class as well. My question is not about this our present class. I want to permit me to digress. I want to ask about our digital marketing class, because I noticed like
send me a DM. Maybe you have my number.
I don't have your number.
You registered for digital marketing before?
I was in the class, but I just noticed it stopped abruptly.
Okay, send me a DM. Let me drop my number here.
Okay.
Let me drop my number now.
All right.
So that's my number. Eric, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you and good evening from Ghana
Good evening.
to my colleague Nigerians and Ghanaians on this very platform. I am highly humble for the facilitation, and let me plead that my major focus that drove me to register for this very course has to do with the video editing class. And so I will appeal that you do all your best you can to give us all the details we need, so long as the use of CapCut software is used for video editing, because that is my major focus for joining this class. Thank you so much. Even though I am equally concerned with other areas and will participate fully, but I need this highly. Thank you.
All right. Emmanuel Kojo.
Mr. Lex,
Yeah,
you made mention of niche. I want to know how one can find the niche. You see, there are different things people are interested in. So do you need to find a particular niche to venture in, or you can have more than one and then you can go into all of those?
Okay, yeah, we're going to be talking about that when we are doing market research, right? But then having multiple niches is also a problem on its own. My advice is to have one, stick to that one, make as much profit as you can from that one, then optimize the use of that one. That would be my advice, right? But then we'll talk more about that when we go into market research and other things. Mr. Kenneth. Mr. Kenneth, you can unmute.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, please, my question is, there's when you want to start, when you start editing or you start watching video, there's this caption that always flow before the video is, I think they call it caption, the introduction. Are you with me, sir?
Like a writing in text.
Right up and some display, some animation, some kind of intro,
Yeah.
you know, that makes it look attractive. I don't know how we can
Don't
get
worry,
that
we'll
before
get
the
there.
main video.
We'll get there.
Okay, so thank you.
All right. Any other questions from any other person? Any other questions from any other person? Any other questions? Okay, in the absence of any other questions, that'll be all for today, right? We're going to continue on Thursday. Have a lovely night rest, everyone, and good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, everyone.